Hi, I'd like to say we need to wrap everything up at 12:30, please. We can start taking please, forecast, and then move over to the right.
Hi, Mark. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Again, when you look at the last two games, yes, they were both defeats, but they were against Liverpool at Anfield and Man City, maybe the best team in the world at the moment. The team, your team, showed a lot of resiliency from your point of view. How encouraging is it?
I agree. Of course, in terms of results, they weren't the best, and they weren't what we fight for. But in performance-wise, in some moments we match the opposition side. We are really competitive as always. We have been being this season, and it's clear. We took positives from both games. Of course, we are here to get points and to win football matches. That is the most important thing for us. Things to improve clear. We took positives, but clear things to improve in terms of performance, not just collectively, individual as well. That's something that we have now the enough days to work on it again and to prepare the players for the next one.
How do you see the defensive partnership between Tosin and Diop? Now when Tim Ream is unfortunately not available.
Good players both, and when you have good players, of course, it is not so difficult for them to start to have connections. Of course, the time playing both there will be a good help for them to be anytime in a better shape, if I can say, with better connection as well. Both right-footed. In our way to play, it's always important to have a left-footed in our left-hand side because the way we like to build our attacks. But now it is impossible. Now, of course, it's moment for us or Shane or Tosin to adapt in that left-hand side because it is important the way we like to build to have a player with the capacity to play in that side. But of course, with more games together, the things will improve for sure.
When you look at the rest of the games until the end of the season, it seems like achieving the 53 points mark or even more is very realistic, isn't it?
No, we are going to fight for it. We are going to fight because it's a target for us. Clear is a target for us. We have 12 games to fight for, and 12 points, sorry, 4 games to fight for, and we are going to do our best. As always, game by game, thinking the next one that will be a very good one at Cottage that we want to do our best, and we are going to do our best to win. But is there, the target is there, is realistic, and we have to fight really hard to get it.
Leicester City and the Cottage this Monday, they're fighting for their Premier League survival. How dangerous do you expect it to be?
It will be a really dangerous game. As I said after the Liverpool match in that evening, I said that probably the next game against Leicester will be even more difficult than the City against Liverpool. Of course, people probably doesn't understand what I was saying. I'm not saying that Leicester is better team than the other two. It's not what I'm saying. But in terms of they are fighting for their lives, how they come here, probably they come to play in the different one than the other two teams they play against us. And of course, will be a tough one, a good test, another one for us. Another good test for us with Cottage with our fans. And of course, we have to play as better as you can to win the game because it will be a tough one. A team that is really strong in counter-attack. We are going to have the command of the game, or we are trying to have the command of the game, of course, and they are strong. Vardy, in any moment of the game, can punish you as well with the support from players like Barnes or Maddison, and they are a good side, but fighting for their lives in a position that they wouldn't expect to be, but of course will be a tough one.
How different is it in terms of the mindset and the game plan to be facing a team that is involved in a relegation battle compared to an opposition like Liverpool, Man City, who are fighting for Europe, fighting for titles?
In terms of approach, in terms of preparation, all these things is nothing different. We prepare always ourselves in the same way with different strategies. Of course, we knew against City that will be, again, probably we don't have the ball so often that we would like. Liverpool more or less the same thing, even if they are slightly different. And against Leicester, of course, playing at Cottage, as I said to you, it will be a game that we are going to try to have the control of the game, even if you know that we are going to face a team with a lot of individual quality around the pitch, and will be a different game definitely than the previous 2 matches, but will be a tough game in the same way. But the approach and what you ask me will be the same. The way we are going to prepare ourselves to be at our best level.
Thank you.
Okay, Willian obviously returned to the game, played a good majority of it. How important is a player like that bringing him back in and making sure?
What player?
Willian.
He's being fantastic. He's being brilliant for us this season. He's being so good to see him performing at this level, at home or away. It doesn't matter the team. I think the last game, in some moments, even if you don't have the ball so long time that you like, in some moments of the match against Liverpool, the way he had the impact during some moments of the match, some dangerous moments from ourselves, the way he handled that situation to create moments like the one of the biggest chances we have second half in that counter-attack connection between him and Carlos Vinicius. He's William. That is William. He's a top player, class player that is being so important for us. We are pleased to have him with us every single day. He's working really hard every single day to perform at their level, and of course it is really important for us to have him in any match at his best level, because we are going to be stronger with him. And of course another game for him. We have, as you know, the game will be just on Monday. We have more time to work, to prepare the game, more 3 sessions, and of course we are going to prepare all of them, and we'll do another one to be at his best level.
Does it almost show, I guess, the type of quality that he has and experience he has as a player to come back from it, like being injured for a while, out for a couple of games, and come in to a game, really impact it? You mentioned a few of the chances that he created, and building up those partnerships really quickly.
When you have qualities, the things come easier to you. Of course, he fits really well in our plan. Everything what we try to do, of course, for a player like Willian, switch really well. That is the reality. And of course, after he has the quality to deal, not just on the ball, off the ball, he works really hard as well. And he's a top player. He's a top player in a good shape, still being decisive for us. And of course, again, he's a player that we have to be really pleased to have with our shirt.
Most teams, I guess, when they come into the Premier League following a promotion, they worry about that yo-yo going up and down, and that being in a relegation position. Fulham have been very fortunate with the quality, and having spoken to Leno earlier on, he said you're a very demanding but fair manager. Would you say that's like a fair assessment of your management style and how that's helped you be in the position you're in?
Yes, he's one of the characteristics that I have, and I like my staff and the club as with all of us. I'm the first one demanding from myself and my staff, and of course the players they feel it. Just you can do something really good in football in a so competitive sport in Premier League if you are really demanding, if you want to improve every single day, because if you think that something will come easier to you, will be the first mistake that you are doing. And we know what is difficult. Of course, we believe in ourselves. We know what the type of work that we are doing. We know the type of players we have as well, the squad we have. We know our strengths. We know our weakness as well. We have to work on it every single moment. But one thing has to be always there: the demanding. They know that I'm the first one. Can be friend of them, can be with them, support them, but they know that at the end of the day I will be the person that I will demand more from them as well. And this is clear. Of course, after has to come the quality in the work, all these situations, the good environment that I like to work on as well. But demanding is one of the words, definitely. In any job, I believe, and in Premier League has to be always one of the characteristics has to be on the top.
How important is it to get a result against Leicester? I know that you described both 2 games against Liverpool and Manchester City, still good performances despite the fact of not getting a result, but getting a result at home in front of the fans.
So it will be important. Definitely we want to be back in a winning ways, and of course it will be another good opportunity for us. In terms of to be competitive, I think we did it last 2 games. The details in both games decided the match. That is clear for me. Different it was against City than Liverpool. Liverpool we didn't deserve the result. It was a clear mistake that made us to lose the match. In that penalty, that I repeat again, that is embarrassing. That decision, and of course is up to us to react. It's up to us to go again and to take to do our best to take the 3 points. That is clear. Will be the target. One, because we want to feel again the feeling to win at home. We had against Leeds last time here at Cottage, and we want to do again.
How difficult is it, as a manager, when you mentioned VAR early on in that penalty, when you have situations where you feel like VAR hasn't worked as it's supposed to be, still trying to keep your team upbeat despite, a game you feel like you could have not conceded that goal?
It is really difficult for us. I said after the match that today in football, with all the technology around, and it's difficult to understand how we lose a game like we lost against Liverpool with that penalty. For me, it was clear in the end of the match. When I saw images about that moment, even more clear I was. And it is difficult to understand how this happened. Of course, I made mistakes. The referees, they can make mistakes as well. And we have to accept it. But when you have all this support and all the things to help the referee, is difficult to understand. But it is what it is. We cannot control that situation. The mistake is part of the game, because that I can make, and the referees and the players as well, and we have to deal with it. Unfortunately for us, this season for Fulham Football Club is being really tough. I have to say, it's being really tough in certain moments of the season, and last game is another good example.
Thank you.
Marco, hello. You mentioned you're surprised that Leicester are in a relegation battle. I think there are a few teams down there that are quite surprising. How pleased are you that you're not part of that relegation battle at this stage?
We all have to be really pleased. I think we as a football club, our fans, and just show, even if the last 2 months in terms of results they have been tough for us, of course, for many circumstances as well. With some injuries, some players out. Okay, our top goal scorer with already 7 games out of the plans as well. All that things made an impact. Never excuse for me that situation, but made an impact on that. But of course, is feeling that from last February, when we had a fantastic run after the World Cup break, we got a certain amount of points that make us to be in a position on the table that we knew that we are not going to fight for, or to be in this fight. We are going to be in a different fight. We have to be pleased, of course. We have to be really proud of, because I knew what everyone was saying in the beginning of the season about Fulham. I knew that you were the favourites. Some people, even without doubts, that will be the first one to get relegated. And of course, we have to be pleased, not because what the people said, because they are normal, they have to comment, they have to give their opinions, much more for ourselves. Firstly, for our fans, because the last 2 seasons in Premier League, they were really tough for them, and they deserve much more. And other, because I believe, and I said from the last days of the last season, that I felt that the club belongs in Premier League, this football club belongs in Premier League, and we showed that during this season.
What other clubs have done is change their managers in order to try and change their results. So you have a new manager, or rather maybe a manager you're familiar with from before, in Dean Smith, as manager of Leicester. What have you made of the fact that other clubs have decided to make changes to their managers?
What I can say this season, probably I don't have all the numbers, all the stats with me, but probably is one of the seasons that there have been more changes in the managerial of the clubs, and this. But it's the club's decision. It's difficult for me to. I think all of us in football, we agree that even the clubs that they have decided in a different way the last few months, you agree that with stability the things can go in a different direction. Believing in the process, believing in everything what we have been doing, the results can come can come and can be more. They can be more consistent. That is my opinion about. But okay, but we have to accept the new football era, the new business in football, and at the end, the results, they are always speaking louder than all the other things.
We often ask you about your contract and where you are with a new deal. Is there any update on that?
No updates, of course. No, right now, if any updates, we are going to tell you. Of course, we don't need to talk all the weeks about if I met or not, if I'm going to have a meeting or not. If it's something clear and new for you, of course, we will come. Until now, nothing new, and we are preparing the end of the season. We are preparing the next season with, as always, with full focus, full ambition, full motivation, as always, and all the conversations that we have behind the scenes, they are keep going. And if some updates, we are going to know in the right time.
Finally, from me, just because we haven't asked you about the team news, apart from the obvious, is there anybody else missing, and how pleased are you with the strength and depth of the squad that you've had to kind of utilise recently?
As I told you, of course, from City game for Liverpool game, we have changed 5 players, and even so, I think overall the players that they came in, they answer well. Of course, was for some players first time that, for example, we play with that midfielder line, first time that played together from the start. João Palhinha, Lukic, and Tom Carney. First time with that back line start from a game as well together. Many things they were the first time in some sectors of our 11 last game. Okay, but it is what it is. We have some important players for us injured. Other players like Mitro is banned as well, and I'm here to find solutions as well and to create and to set the best 11 that I think in each game. For the next game, let's see. We right now not many things different, but as you know, we have more sessions. We'll be game on next Monday. We have more 3 sessions until there. We have to assess players from the last game, and we'll start to assess them this afternoon. And day by day, we are going to prepare them well.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, that's the broadcast section completed. We turn cameras off.